Piracy has been around as long as ships have set sail. Out on the high seas, it's every man for himself. That's part of the excitement. It's also part of the danger.
According to experts, the area of the Bermuda Triangle was a favored playground for some of history's most notorious pirates.
Right around the Keys, and especially the Bermuda Triangle, the pirates were sailing around this area because it's directly through the trade route from South America, Latin America, Cartagena, through to Europe. The most common pirates around the area were Blackbeard, which everybody knows about, Calico Jack, who's most famous for having the 2 women pirates, and also Black Caesar.
Some of these ships might have run afoul of some pretty nasty pirates. Their ships could have been plundered, their people sold into slavery, or worse, thrown off the side.
Another theory floated is that a ship's crew could have been wiped out by diseases carried by slaves.
But there is also a particular thing that happened fairly commonly, and that is that both the crew and the Africans would contract ophthalmia, which renders you blind. There are known cases of both the crew and of course the Africans dying in huge numbers. A lot of people freaked out and really just jumped into the ocean because they were terrified. They didn't want to live day-to-day blind.
But neither disease nor piracy explains one of the most unusual triangle legends. On March 4th, 1918, the Cyclops, a 542-foot Navy collier, left Barbados bound for Norfolk, Virginia. On board was a crew of 309 men.
USS Cyclops was coming up from South America, and it had a load of iron ore on it. It was a U.S. Navy ship, and it disappeared. And that added to the story of the Devil's Triangle and the Bermuda Triangle.
Strangely, although the Cyclops was among the first ships ever radio-equipped, it never issued so much as even the most preliminary SOS.
I can't come out with the right adjectives to describe what happened aboard that ship. If you put all the facts down and put it down as nonfiction, people wouldn't believe you. They say, this has to be fiction, this can't be true.
The Navy suspected the boat was attacked by an enemy submarine. But many years later, another fantastic theory emerged to explain the loss of the Cyclops and other missing vessels.
I think among the most famous, fabled dangers of the Bermuda Triangle is the infamous giant squid. This giant thing that comes up, it's got a hand-like form. It clasps the tiny ship, which is actually a huge ship that is now terrified because this thing is even more giant, and it pulls it down for purposes unknown. But that is part of the whole myth.
While at first glance it sounds far-fetched, the existence of a species of cephalopod called the giant octopus is no myth.
In 1896, a carcass was found on the beach in St. Augustine by 2 boys, and they reported it to Yale University, and it would have been 200 feet long.
At the time, scientists identified the carcass as a giant octopus. Based in part on this finding, in 1918, the Literary Digest speculated that a giant octopus might have seized upon the Cyclops and brought it down with its tentacles. The St. Augustine carcass turned out to be a section of whale. Dr. Jeff Marliov studies octopus behavior at the Vancouver Aquarium.
Giant octopus only occur in the northeast Pacific Ocean. The kind of octopus that might occur in the region of the Bermuda Triangle would be a very small species, and it would most likely be associated with rocky drop-offs from the islands, not with the center area of the Bermuda Triangle, which is basically sand bottom. Now, when people talk about giant octopuses attacking boats, it likely stems from these very old stories from the days of whaling and sailing ship exploration, when there were engravings showing some kind of tentacled animal attacking small rowboats and such. Most likely this would not be an octopus. The only species that could conceivably attack a small boat would be relatives of octopuses, the giant squids.
Ah, the legend of the giant squid. Actually, it's not a legend. They exist. Some of them over 150 feet long, if you can imagine this.
In October 2005, Japanese scientists made a startling discovery off the coast of Tokyo, near the Bonin Islands. A giant squid, close to 30 feet in length. Researchers from Japan's National Science Museum identified the creature as an architeuthis, a rare species that seizes upon bait with extreme force and violence.
We don't know what lies under the depths of the ocean. Could very well be a giant creature that is particular to that part of the ocean. Maybe its food source is contained there. We don't know. But it could explain some of the ships that were mysteriously lost.
Giant sea monsters are not the only theory attempting to explain disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle. Some believe that the answer may lie far beneath the surface of the Atlantic Ocean, in the lost city of Atlantis. Among the more creative explanations for strange occurrences within the boundaries of the Bermuda Triangle is one that has roots in ancient Greece, with the lost city of Atlantis.
Atlantis is a story told by Plato approximately 400 BC. It is a story of a civilization that he described as being larger than Asia and Africa combined, that sank into the Atlantic